Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie, for those who don't know me, reviewing Love is Blind Season 6, Episode 6. A hell of a lot of fetishization happening in this episode. But before we get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. So, at the beginning of the episode, we see Johnny and Amy. We don't see much of these two because I guess they are just so perfect. I don't know. They have consummated their engagement. I think consummation is only for weddings, but we're saying that for the sake of saying it, okay? So yeah, they've done the nasty. Good for them. I don't think anybody else has. However, apparently Jeremy and Jimmy are packing. Now, Jeremy, I can believe just because of the way that Laura said it. Jimmy, I don't buy that ish for nothing. The way Chelsea was like, girl, it's huge.
Is it big?
Huge.
Like this. Wowza.
I'm like, oh, it's not. Like, with that reaction, it can be. But I'm like, you know what Chelsea's going to do? She's going to hype her man. And I love that for her. That's cute. All right, moving on. Jeremy and Laura talk about their potential home life. And she does point out the fact that he's been annoying her just a little bit.
I mean, I'm not allowed to have motorcycles or anything anymore, so I have to...
You can have one motorcycle. You're gonna like really try to find my buttons and just like...
What gives you that idea? If you're ever like, no, I'm serious, I'll be like, oh, okay, my bad. Sometimes it's just playful, like, don't do that. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I won't. And then I just go and do it anyway.
As of right now, she claims that she doesn't have an issue with his little quirky antics. People were saying in the comments, he's goofy and she's not, and typically that doesn't really mesh well. I can see that. I'm trying to think of a situation where one person was goofy and the other person was, oh yeah, no. Do you guys know this couple on TikTok? The girl's name is Chrissy and the guy, I'm forgetting his name, but she is so goofy. But I also think it's different when the woman is goofy, hey? Anyways, Chrissy is mad goofy. Her man, Desmond, I feel like his name is not, and it kind of works. But again, when it's a woman who's goofy, it's a little bit different. Yeah, I wonder how long this is gonna last with them. She says she has no complaints, but she has a lot of don'ts. Don't do this. Don't wear that. Don't drive your motorcycle. Don't bring out the beach shirts. Don't do this. Girl, it's giving dictator. It's giving mother. You're doing too much. Moving on, AD and Clay talk about weight, which I didn't even know was coming because I spoke about weight in the last episode, in the last video. She doesn't like how he plans on encouraging his wife to hit the gym.
I've never counted calories.
Men and women are different.
You think so?
Sorry to pause it on your face like this, sis. I'm so sorry, AD, but this face is exactly how I want to look at Clay. Clay acts so dense sometimes, it really does confuse me. In this conversation, AD is saying her body is the way that it is because she's very particular about what she puts in it, how hard she works out, and he's like, well, you could eat whatever and it wouldn't be a thing. Earlier, he asked when he gets his ring as if he didn't know that they exchange rings at the altar. Like, what is up with Clay? He's taking this I'm a baby thing way too far.
I feel like you have a great body, AD. Like, what are you talking about?
I have a great body because I work hard. What if I do get like...
I'll tell you. I'll be like, AD, get in that motherfucking gym. You will be determined to go if I said it that way.
At some point, we're going to have children.
Yeah, you gotta get right.
And I'm going to have a belly.
Yeah,
and like...
And I would be in the gym with you every day. You think that was a bad delivery?
I think that was a terrible delivery.
I'll be like, AD, listen, I need you to come.
Clay.
It's clear that he has no intentions of being with a big girl. I think AD is about the most that he will take, it seems. So he's like, I would say, get your ass back in the gym. Well, I think that only works for a partner who thrives off of tough love. It doesn't seem like AD's that type of person, so I don't know if that's going to work. Yeah, and as AD was saying, baby weight, sometimes the baby weight is baby waiting. And it takes a long time, if ever, for people to get it off. Now, I do want to talk about the weight thing just to touch on the previous episode because I was seeing a lot of comments. I don't know if people just didn't watch the video all the way through. I did mention Alexis. or Alexa, whatever her name is. I mentioned her. Yes, she was a plus size woman who was chosen on the show. But let's be honest, Alexa is not the kind of plus size that I was talking about. I was talking about a girl who's built like me. I know you can't see my body, but built like me. We're not the same, okay? Alexa could be on the Fashion Nova website. I would not be there. So yeah, I do know that society does view bigger women as less desirable. But realistically, if you have a show where the premise is love is blind, or you're challenging the question, is love blind? Let's bring an accurate representation of what North America looks like, right? There are bigger women. There are bigger guys. There are short men. Bring a man who's 5'6". And here's the thing. Is it hard to watch? Because some other people were saying, well, have you seen Love is Blind Brazil with the big girl who was chosen? I did. And was it hard to watch? Yeah. But is it reality? Yes, it really is. We go through things like that quite often. So I do want to see an accurate depiction of what happens in real life. And honestly, that makes me amend my statement of what I said about Jessica, because in real life, people do have kids. I still think it's risky to bring a man into your life when he's never interacted with your child, especially if your child is under a certain age, but y'all get what I'm saying. People have been previously married, like Chelsea. So let's bring it all. If we're going to ask the question, is love blind? Let's make it realistic, honestly. I was going to say something else, but I completely lost my train of thought because, you know, I'd be going on tangents and stuff like that. Oh, I think this will also change the landscape of the show if they made it true to reality, because a lot of people come in knowing, for the most part, you're likely going to be matched with somebody who is seen as attractive. Maybe not the most attractive person to you, but attractive to some degree, right? This is why in my first impressions video, I had said to certain people, oh my gosh, I like that they look regular. And people ask me, girl, what do you mean by regular? I like that they don't have the cookie cutter face, average height, average build. Like it's really not hard to challenge the question, is love blind, when you expect people to be relatively attractive on the show? My main point is, because now I'm rambling, diversify it a little bit, man. They did more diversity with the ethnicity this season, but bodies as well. Tall, short, thick, whatever. One arm. I don't know. One girl on Married at First Sight had one arm. I don't know, man. Just whatever. Anyways, let's move on because now we're rambling. They talk about, this is AD and Clay, if you forgot who we were talking about. They talk about wanting to go to therapy together. AD says that she is tired of repeating bad habits and says that a part of that is tied to the relationship she had with her dad. Clay also talks about the relationship he had with his dad and how it just perpetuates the toxic behaviors that he exhibits in relationships. I wanted to sympathize with AD. I do understand her story a little bit more. I did feel for her a little bit more. But throughout this whole season, she has talked about these red flags that she has. She's talked about her toxic behavior. So she knows what it is. My thing is, okay, so now that you've acknowledged it, what are you going to do to change that behavior so that you aren't repeating cycles? That's why I couldn't really connect all the way, because I'm like, if you were blissfully unaware, that would be one thing. But you know where your pitfalls are, and you say, I'm just going to do the same thing anyways. All right, well, let's move on. Chelsea asks Chelsea asks Jimmy what his type is. I'm thinking to myself, girl, ask this man one more time about attractiveness, because you're just making yourself sad and I don't know why.
What's your type normally?
A lot of the things I've described about you.
Small. No. You've never dated a girl with her nose pierced? Or a tattoo? Not a single tattoo?
No.
Wow.
Do you have a type that you typically go for?
Big and muscular.
So you got a lot of buff exes.
I guess they'll both be choking because she just described Trevor.
Yeah, I guess.
Good thing I'm buff.
You are buff, babe.
I can appreciate compliments, but I mean, come on.
Babe, I'm here to hype you up.
Comparison is a thief of joy. That's all I can say when it comes to Chelsea. She loves to compare. Compare herself, compare her relationship, compare her past. Like, girl, Come on now. I will give her a little bit of grace because it is clear that Jimmy is not 1,000% in. Everybody's talking about 1,000, so we're going to use 1,000. It's clear that he's not 1,000% in, right? But the more you keep asking, do you have doubts? Are you attracted to me? He's going to find doubts if he didn't have some before. And two, you're going to have a complex. I feel like she already had some insecurities about her body. As we know, she commented on the whole being concerned if he's going to be into a fuller woman, but you are now creating a complex. And she claims she isn't insecure, but that's not what it's giving. That is not what it's giving at all. Girl, trust in your sauce. And if this man doesn't like you in return, that's his loss. It might be his gain after this episode, but that's his loss. The couples get to meet each other. I'm glad we didn't have that weird cocktail situation with the Lachey's. Just let the couples mingle, okay? We don't need all that. Kenneth is showing up, okay? He is giving these other fiancés a run for their money.
Can we pull up a chair?
You want a chair? You good?
He's so attentive.
Good.
We love you.
How do you feel with him?
I'm like sitting there and I literally actually
I feel safe with him and I just met him.
Right.
So everything is exactly what you imagined.
He is the same person that he was in the pods.
I loved the attentiveness as well. I do. I kind of now feel bad for what I said with their whole nighttime ritual or whatever. It just, I don't know. I feel like I would want to organically talk about my day rather than being asked every single day, hey, give me a list of all the things. I don't know. To me, that was kind of weird. But anyways, he's showing up. He's being attentive. He's being a doting husband. We love it, okay? Brittany talks about how they are physically attracted to each other. However, she does have to encourage Kenneth to be a little bit more touchy. You know, she says, you can grab me. It's okay, which is good because the friend vibe was really friend vibing for a while for me. So them getting a little bit closer, him now having the green light to be a little bit more, physically affectionate, even though they're not having sex, is a good sign. Clay talks about AD being able to check him when he needs to be checked. I don't know why. This man is so annoying. Like, he's so proud of being mediocre. And he's like, oh yeah, she always checks me. Why do you always need to be checked?
She gets you?
She got me. She got me right. Because she checked me. If I'm bullshitting or if I'm not like on my game,
She's gonna call you.
She'll call it out.
She's good looking. It's a good look for you. And yeah.
In the pods, this man, I'm such a baby. When they met, oh, I'm such a baby. Oh, hold me. Oh, coddle me. Oh, It's so annoying. Constantly talking about how he has all these issues about him, but he's working on it. He's working on it. He's a work in progress. And then now he says, anytime I'm bullshitting, she'll check me. Why? Like, what? Even in his proposal, did he not say, like, you see past my bullshit? Like, why are we even doing that? You're a big man. Come on. Same thing with AD. They acknowledge all these issues that they have within themselves, but if you're not planning on changing that behavior, if you're not planning on improving, then what? Like, I can't really give you props. To me, I don't count this as vulnerability when it comes to Clay. I don't count this as him being emotionally intelligent. You don't plan on fixing it. You plan on AD fixing it, or at the very least, her being a long-suffering woman and loving you through those issues that it seems like you don't plan on fixing anytime soon. Like, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. He wears this mediocrity as a badge, and honestly, take it off. Chelsea again is here. Yeah, you know what's so funny? I messaged all these people before the season even started being like, hey, if you ever want to have a little chit chat on this channel, hit your girl up. That's definitely not happening. The way I've been talking about them, yeah, they're not coming over here, but it's okay. We're going to talk anyways between you and I. Chelsea is looking for some assurance from Jimmy. Jimmy's like, girl, chill.
Yeah, I love you. You haven't said it.
I love you. If you want me to yell, I love you. I love
Do it. Do it.
That woman is absolutely stacked.
He goes, that girl.
Whoa.
She's pretty stacked.
I am so embarrassed. She just called me the fuck out.
Like, you look good.
I'm not trying to impress you,
Mm-hmm. And after like that comment, I don't know. I feel odd.
So two things were happening for me. Jimmy actually talking to AD, to me, it made me feel just a little bit uncomfortable. However, AD claims it was fine. She enjoyed every second of their conversation. So, all right. If she says she was okay with it, then we're going to take her word for it. All right. With Chelsea, you know you feel a way about your own body, right? And to Jimmy's credit, he didn't say what he said about AD out loud. He said it to you, especially because you've already commented on AD's body and how he's going to think it's sickening. And now in person, he absolutely thinks it's sickening. You want to go and broadcast his words when that was totally unnecessary, right? He couldn't say, I love you out loud, but you want him to say, oh, I love this next woman's body out loud. Why are you going to draw attention to another woman's physique, which you perceive to be more desirable than your own, knowing you have a complex about your own body? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Now you have a face like a slapped ass on the bar or at the bar. You're just annoyed because he's giving AD attention. He wouldn't have given this girl attention if you didn't point him that direction. Then she talks to Amy and she's feeling like, oh, why would he do that? Why would he? I'm sorry. I do feel like what Jimmy was doing was a little bit out of line, but I'm also thinking, Chelsea, you pointed him in that direction. I don't feel sorry for this girl at all. Like, I really don't. She's so whiny. Jimmy then talks to more of the other women. I think it was Amy and Laura, who were talking to Chelsea, but he was not addressing Chelsea in this conversation. The way that he's acting with them, I'm thinking, Jessica was right. When he sees Jessica, I actually think the man will choke.
How's it going?
I'm good.
You're good.
Phenomenal. This doesn't include you.
Okay.
How hard was it for y'all to narrow 15?
It wasn't hard for me.
Well, that sucks because I didn't make either one of y'all's list. You good?
Oh shit.
Oops, sorry.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Jimmy keeps saying that his relationship is the best. He thinks that they're the most smooth sailing. He thinks all these things. Chelsea's here imploding and he doesn't even know that it's happening. It's definitely overcompensation when it comes to Jimmy. I feel like what's understood doesn't need to be said. Like, if you really, to a degree, certain things need to be said even if we know what it is, right? When it comes to your relationship being the best, if it is, it just is. Why do you have to keep shouting it off to the rooftops? Shouting it off of the rooftop. Guys, I swear I cannot speak today. Why do you feel like you have to broadcast it all day, every day to everyone? If it is, it just is. People will see it, you know? I feel like he's trying to convince himself that things are going so well because they clearly are not. Kenneth talks to AD and Clay and he says that he's happy to see Black love. Obviously, we know that this is his first interracial relationship. And he says, honestly, it isn't as complicated as I thought it was going to be.
Look at this.
Look at this, man.
Look, it's giving. Black excellence. You feel me?
So what's going on with that?
You know what? We each other is like person.
Life is gonna life.
Yeah.
Are you okay with that? She's gonna have to raise Black children.
Yeah.
And are you confident that she can raise Black children?
It's definitely, it's making me think. This is a big decision.
I think it's easy to say things are pretty chill right now because they're in the honeymoon, you know? They're not in the real world. They're not back in the South. Of course, we know interracial couples are everywhere, but there are still sectors of this world that feel a way about it, you know? AD brings up the whole raising biracial kids thing. He feels like Brittany will be totally fine doing that. I think the theory of it and the reality of it are two different things. I'm going to be honest. I've spoken about this before in a different video. I don't think it was for Love is Blind, but a person very close to me is raising a biracial child and they refer to him as a critter. Just, you know, little things like that. Not a fan. But the thing is, if you say that to a white kid, like it doesn't hold the same weight as it does saying it to a Black child or even a Black biracial child. It's just don't do stuff like that. And that's a little thing. There's other things growing up, you know, how do you conduct yourself in certain spaces? Because you're going to look like the big bad Black guy. How do you conduct yourself around law enforcement? How do you conduct yourself in a workplace? Just so many nuances that people need to understand when raising Black or biracial children. Yeah, it's great that he has faith in Brittany. And I hope that it isn't going to be an issue if they do end up having children together. But yeah, that's something she is going to have to be made aware of. Raising Black kids is a different reality than raising other kids, especially white kids. Like I said, Amy and Johnny, we don't get to see much of them. This girl is in her my man bag, okay? She's all over him. They're attached at the hip, so we're just going to assume things are good with them. Now, we have Jeremy, who's talking to Clay. AD comes and joins them, and he mentions something called bean dip. I've never heard of this before, but apparently Laura told Jeremy, as a joke, to bean dip AD.
Bean dip?
Bean
She told me you would know what that means. She was trying to set me up for some bullshit. We can't
Who
get
did
off.
you offend?
Thank you, baby.
Probably AD.
I hope not. Did you talk to
No, you offended me.
I cannot with these men. Trying to make something out of nothing.
I mean, what the fuck?
I need to fucking
funny.
relax.
Hold on, not relax, because telling another man to
Yeah, but as a fucking joke.
I was offended too. Because one, why would it even be mentioned, joke or no joke? And two, why would it be reiterated by Jeremy? Why would you even repeat that? After watching it again while editing, I think they were both trying to save face in front of their friends, AD in front of Laura and Clay in front of Jeremy, because AD says that Clay is offended. Clay says AD is offended. But then he said he'll reel her in? What do you mean by that?
I appreciate you even let me know that, because that's crazy.
Your woman might have taken it offensively, and I apologize for that.
She should be good. I'll reel her in.
AD is telling the other ladies, no. If my man is offended, he has the right to be offended. Don't tell him to relax. But on the guy's side, Clay is saying, oh, I'll reel her in. This man, I can't stand him. I'm so confused. And Laura was pissing me. Guys, it was a joke. Stop, it was a joke. I take great issue with people just taking their liberties with Black bodies, anybody's body, honestly. But considering the history of Black people, Native Americans have similar history, I don't like that. I don't like that. I can't tell you how many times I have had, I'm gonna just be honest, white women reach into my hair talking about, wow, your hair is so nice. No permission granted whatsoever. No hello, no greeting, no request, nothing. They just touch up on us as if we're some kind of exhibit. And given Black people's history, and some other cultures too, but I'm a Black person, so I'm just talking about Black people. Yeah, don't even joke about taking liberties of Black bodies like that. I don't like that. I'm offended too. I'm offended too. So Laura's out here, it's a joke, guys, it's a joke, come on, it's a joke. But then when Jeremy comes around, she's upset with him, but he's saying the same thing. Oh girl, it's a joke. Laura doesn't find it funny anymore.
You're talking shit. I'm gonna have words with you later. Because don't start shit when there doesn't need to be.
It was a joke that just spun out of control.
There are things that I find funny that other people don't find funny, right? But once it is made known to me, I try not to then make that thing a joke or light anymore. They've expressed discomfort. You respect that, even if you don't agree. So Laura just trying to brush it off. I was like, no, girl, this man is offended. And the girl is offended on her man's behalf. Take ownership of that. The same way that you're upset at Jeremy now, you should see why AD and Clay are upset with you. Chelsea feels like Jimmy's energy is off. But the more that they're talking, it's clear that it's Chelsea who's upset with Jeremy.
What?
Something's wrong.
No, I'm good.
When you made a comment about AD and her body, and I felt so uncomfortable that I called it out. It was just very odd.
There wasn't anything flirty. There wasn't anything you wouldn't have wanted to hear. If you were a part of that conversation, you would have known all that.
You were the only person who wasn't coming up to me being lovey and why couldn't we do that like everyone else was? And that made me sad. It hurt. It really hurt.
I definitely do think that Jimmy could have read the room a little bit better. If you notice, okay, your girl just disappeared. She's sulking at the bar. Come on, give her something. Give her some kind of reassurance. But Chelsea being stuck on how other couples are relating with each other, and clearly that means that they're not on the same level, it's just a recipe for disaster, okay? Not every loved up couple is actually loved up in reality. And not every couple who doesn't touch each other at all is not in love. You know what I'm saying? Comparison is a thief of joy, Chelsea. Don't be out here trying to measure up to other people, because you'll find yourself in some mess. You know how many times I had seen couples on Instagram and I'm like, oh, couple goals. And then some crazy scandal comes out. This man has 3 outside babies. This woman was money laundering. This person. Don't be envying other people's relationships. You have no idea what those people are going through. So this girl, she's asking for reassurance, asking for it. And I understand what she's going through. If I was feeling physically insecure about my body, I would like some reassurance from my man. But because she's so whiny about it, I just can't side with her. She just be whining all the time, whining. And then she says, I'm telling you how I feel. You need to just take it. I felt like she was upset in that moment. And then it could have been editing. She switched. And she was like, I love you. Okay. Then he was like, I love you too. And she's like, are you sure? Whoa. What in the multiple personality is going on here? I was concerned. I was a little bit concerned. She has these drastic reactions to things. Even back in the pods, whenever the guys would say something that she didn't expect, she'd throw her body onto the floor. Whenever she's upset, even in this conversation, full on pout. Big woman, you know, pouting. Chelsea, you're going to have to grow up a little bit, sis, because anybody would be exhausted by this, especially Jimmy, who claims he's 1,000% in, but we know he's not. There was a trailer for the rest of the season. I didn't watch it because the first trailer they gave us was basically giving away the whole season. So I'm not going to do that to myself. I'm going to try to go live tomorrow. Maybe, how much time do I have tomorrow? Oh, Love Island is done. Oh yeah, so we could do like 6 p.m. My time zone. So that'll be 8 p.m. Eastern. What is that? Pacific. If it's 8 p.m., 5. I don't know, whatever. 6 o'clock my time. You'll see it scheduled. It'll say your local time there. And we'll talk about the season so far. And maybe about some stuff that we've been seeing on social media. Yeah. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.